everybody. Welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 143. I'm your host, Rico, here with my co-host,
Mr. Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Welcome, everybody. If you've never been here before, we usually open this show with some BS, get into some what you've been playing, cover some of the news, our public service announcements, and of course the free for all section. So Dane, what's going on, buddy?
Short week for me, man. It's good.
Not for me. I did not get a long weekend.
Sucker.
Yes, I am a sucker. Had a long week and I got a cold, as you can probably tell by my sniffly voice right now. Sorry.
Yeah, what's going on with that, man?
It's really weird. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter. But on, was it Friday night? Yeah, it's like Friday night, I was going to bed, and my throat was like killing me, and I'm like, oh, rad, I'm getting really sick.
It's a bad
and then
feeling.
I had a terrible sleep, and then I woke up in the morning and was like totally fine.
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm like, sweet, I'm not getting sick. This is awesome. Went out Saturday, walked the dogs on the waterfront, and hang out with my cuz and fam and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was pretty freaking cold out this weekend. We didn't get snow.
So
They said we were going to get it, and it didn't come.
We did.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
It sucks. I hate it. It's dumb.
And we, anyway, that night, like just out of nowhere, I just like crashed on the couch. My wife said I looked white and was like full on like, I've got a cold.
Ugh.
And I'm like, God damn it.
That sucks, man.
The kid had sniffles all week and I thought I avoided it, but apparently I didn't. It's pretty hard to stay away from your child.
Yeah,
When
I
they
know.
hug you and kiss you and lick your face, because that's her new favorite thing.
Ew.
She thinks it's hilarious. She's like, I licked your face. Yeah, yep, yeah, you did. Yep,
All right, well.
Slobbered all over my face. Thank
That's
you.
something, I guess. Yeah.
It's pretty cute, though, so you can't really get mad.
All right, well, and it is your child, so.
But yeah, so all you jerks got to enjoy Family Day on Monday off. And
Heck yeah.
I had to work, which it wasn't too bad. I basically got paid for a very easy day.
That's fair.
So I can't really complain.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Had the day off. Relax. Play some video games. All that good stuff.
Yeah, also, if you're listening to this, obviously you're going to notice that we're a day late of our normal Thursday schedule. This will be coming out on Friday because we had Valentine's Day. And we just, when you're in a committed relationship, you kind of want to keep your significant other happy. So we chose not to record on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we felt that it was the best thing for everyone involved.
Yeah, so sorry about being a day late, but I'm sure you guys will handle it. Yeah, with that, let's get into some what you've been playing. I don't really have anything else to talk about. It was pretty chill, so.
Yeah, no, it was, like I said, didn't have too much happening. It was just a nice, relaxing, took the day to chill out and play some games.
I, obviously, played some more Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I am Hunter, I don't know, Xbox says I'm, no.
Oh.
Yes, maybe. Xbox says that I'm Hunter rank 9, but I'm pretty sure I'm Hunter rank 10.
Okay.
Because I just did another section of the story mode. And, 37 hours in. Doing all right. I still really like that game. And all I want to do is play it all the time.
That's a pretty substantial amount of time to be playing that game.
Unfortunately, I can't play it all the time because I have to go to work and I have to pay attention to my family and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been getting into some multiplayer a little bit more. Actually, was doing some voice chatting with some random guys who jumped in a game on a boss that I was having a little bit of trouble with. And I'm pretty sure these guys were high rank hunters because like literally everything they wore like glowed and had elemental effects and crazy stuff going on, and I'm like, I don't look nowhere near as cool as you guys do, so clearly you are way higher level than me. But there isn't really levels, it's just your gear gets better, right?
Right.
So I'm like, damn.
But there is a hunter rank or whatever there is
the
as
hunter,
well, right?
The hunter rank just limits what events you can take part in and side quests and stuff. So there's low rank and high rank starts after you beat the story mode.
Interesting.
It's kind of like Destiny, right? Like there's a campaign and then it's like, now the real game begins.
Right.
You know? And
because I understand, like, once you go high rank, that's like the big, like, okay, now the real game starts.
Yeah,
as far as Monster Hunter goes.
It even, like, the monsters get harder. They do different attacks. There's new monsters that aren't part of the campaign that start showing up. And that's something people are really excited about with this game, is that apparently, like, Capcom is going to be adding more monsters.
Interesting.
I don't know about areas, but more monsters as time goes on.
Is that DLC or just, like,
I think it's just
free included? You got it, you get it? Like,
I think it's straight up free from my understanding.
Huh, okay. Sweet.
Anyway.
Doesn't happen that often anymore.
That game's pretty rad. I really like it still. I don't know, besides more multiplayer, when I get totally stuck on a guy, I've been primarily doing it solo, and that's like, if I fail a couple times on, like, now I think I'm really close to the end of the campaign. I'm getting to some really freaking badass guys, and it's probably my fault. I was doing quite well against, I was fighting, what is it?
Rathalos?
Rathalos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big ass freaking dragon that spits fire, and I'm wearing an armor set that's not good against fire. Kind of my fault, but I really am at that phase where I don't want to waste any of my crafting stuff, because what I've heard is that the high rank stuff, even the worst high rank armor, like, is way better than
the low rank. Oh,
and it uses all the same kind of mats, right? So
I see. So you're trying to, like, hold out on as much of that as you can.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying.
Maybe being a little cheap. I might have to make another armor set
that's better against fire.
Yeah, well, I took him down with some help, but it was cool when I fought him. The guy,
flares,
the SOS flare, as it is known. Yeah, this guy who joined my game, he's like, "Yo, Rico," he's like, "You got to use flash pods," and then it knocks him out of the air. And then he's easier to hit, and he's less deadly, because when he's in the air, he does his more powerful attacks. And he was like, totally this, like, yeah, you gotta do this and this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Perfect.
And that was, I'm like, man, how did these guys, like, I noticed right away, these guys had him crashing into the ground quite often. And I guess it's because they were using that. Whereas he would, like, he'd, like, fly up in the air and do these big dives. And if he caught me, it's like, oh, there's 3/4 of my life. I have to, like, run, hide, and heal so I don't freaking die.
That sucks.
But yeah, we took him out.
Nice.
Took him down. I did some arena stuff, which was kind of neat, where they just throw you in an arena with a single monster or multiple monsters.
Is it endless? Like, once you kill that monster?
No, just like, it's like a special quest. Go, like, take on this guy in the arena. And the arena's kind of neat because there's, like, traps in the arena.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, like, you can trigger, like, these giant, like, drills that come out of the wall, like spinning drills come out of the wall and, like, pulverize monsters. Or you can, like, drop rocks on them, like a rock trap, like a bunch of giant boulders will fall on their head. And there's some other stuff too. There's cannons and stuff in there. So you can, like, load up cannons and, like, line them up and do some massive damage.
That's...
Yeah. There's all kinds of... And there's,
God,
like...
I so want to, like... I want to... I want to play that game. It's too much money to ask of me to...
You never got into the Souls games, did you?
No, not so much.
Yeah, I think it's very Souls-like, except for it's like Destiny at the same time, and where it's semi-open world with, you know, loot and grinding and stuff.
Right.
Whereas the Dark Souls games are like, they're a linear, you know, they're RPGs, but they're more linear campaign, right? With some limited multiplayer stuff in there.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
This is more along the line of like a Destiny, because you've got like your open areas where you go and initiate, little investigation missions, or you can just go gather stuff and explore, and or you could just specifically set out to get certain monsters if you're like needing to farm parts for different armor sets or weapons, right?
I think that's my worry with this game, is that I actually am concerned that I'm not going to care enough about the loot to want to keep playing.
It's Destiny, and that you want the cool sword that looks awesome and does more damage, but also the armor sets look really rad, and you want that particular one because it looks super badass.
Right.
But at the same time, it can be pretty frustrating. Like, I think it took me 3 tries till I beat Rathalos, or whatever the hell his name is.
Rathalos, yeah.
Rathalos. And like the third time I beat him with help. I got close on my own the 2 other times. So like, he didn't whoop my ass.
Yeah. It's just
saying, after wasting an hour each attempt, it's just like, okay, well, I got to move on. Like, I can't.
See, and that for me is like that right there is a huge deal breaker for me. Like,
yeah, to me,
like
I know
spending an hour and then for what is essentially like, well, that was a waste of time.
You still get some mats and stuff, but yeah, you essentially, it's like, okay, yeah, that happened, and I got to do it again, and I'm angry.
Yeah, and especially if it's like,
but you get better. That's the thing. It's like it's teaching you, and you get better, and then the next fight is not necessarily easier or harder, but should be easier.
Right.
For the most part, I haven't had a hard time. This guy, this boss, and the next one, I think, are like major story moments, and that's the thing. Like I talked about with Ajnath, the fire-breathing T-Rex guy. Mm-hmm. There's a couple points in the game where it's like, okay, we're just gonna slam you with this because this is where you need to learn. You need the right weapon, the right gear, and do some more research. And obviously, clearly, if you're really skilled with your weapon and have the systems, the combat down, you could probably still easily brute force your way through, like if you're, say, a Monster Hunter veteran.
Right.
But for new people, they kind of kick you in the ass because, like, hey, you need to learn these lessons, because if you don't, you're just going to fail hard later.
Yeah. So, like, and honestly, my one hang up, if this was not in the game, I would have bought it already, is the time limit.
Yeah, the time is kind of annoying because
it's arbitrary.
I never fail out to the time limit. I just fail out because the monsters are tough. So I failed out once on the time limit, and that's because I was fucking around mining because I was in a new area. And I'm like, oh shit, you get really good mats from all these mining spots. So I got to get all these materials.
Right.
So instead of concentrating on hunting, I was like screwing around gathering items while I should have been hunting. But
yeah.
Besides
like that's the only thing. Like if that wasn't in there, I would have bought this game already.
Yeah,
but that feeling of like I'm in the middle of like fighting a monster, and then everything is going kind of my way. Maybe I died once, but so I wasted a bunch of time, and now I'm in the middle of this battle, and it's just like time limit is up. I'm just like,
no,
fuck.
That's a non-issue. It's a time limit is there. But once you initiate combat with any monster, it's like 15 or 20 minutes when you win. You only run out of time because you fainted a bunch of times and you're like stopping to do stuff. Yeah. And like I said, I've only ever run out of time once. And I think that's more so you don't pick them off from far away and just like cheese your way through. Because like you could essentially just cheese every guy if there wasn't a time limit. So I think that's why it's there.
It just seems so arbitrary is all. Like, I feel like they need to figure out a different way to gate that or something then. If, like, I don't know. It just, to me, it's like you're out there, you're fighting this dude, and then all of a sudden it's just like somebody blows a whistle and they're like, nope, sorry, you got to stop. This doesn't make any sense. I guess
you could also look at it like, if you're fighting this creature for so long, after that amount of time, it's going to be like, you know what? I'm fucking out. Screw this guy.
Yeah. But like, if you're in the middle of fighting him and you're winning, and that's, I don't know.
Yeah, you shouldn't hopefully be in the middle, but yes. I wasn't happy when I fought the one guy and ran out of time. I'm like, I had him. He was so close to dead.
And the thing is like I hear that it can be more of a problem once you jump into the like higher rank stuff. Once you go from low rank to high rank, like I've heard stories about people like losing, battles, and then I've also heard people about winning battles, but we're talking seconds left on that clock after they'd like failed it multiple times. And I'm just like, that right there is the thing that would make me throw my controller across the room and like never touch that game again.
Yeah, I know you're interested in this game because of the zeitgeist of everyone talking about it, but
well, no, I was interested in it before, right? I was genuinely interested in it long before.
Oh yeah, you played the beta, I didn't.
Yeah, like I played the beta multiple times, and I liked a lot of what I played. Until I ran into that stupid time limit multiple times in the beta. And then that really left a bad taste in my mouth where I was just like, oh, if this happened in the real game after I'd spent 50 minutes with something, I would probably never touch this game again. Like I would probably put my controller down. I'd probably take that game out and I would probably never touch it again.
I don't think it's a Dane game.
Yeah.
If you can get it cheap, then I recommend you getting it, because if you get the bug and it clicks, then you'll understand. But for full pop, I think it's not an immediately obvious Dane game. And how I know you play games or like games, so
yeah, it's mainly just like I need games that respect my time, and I don't.
It respects your time, but in a different way.
Yeah, so.
It respects your time in that you're getting materials that contribute to stuff the entire time, win or lose. Obviously not as good as winning, but you don't totally get nothing. But yeah, it's definitely not fun to win. But that makes the victory that much more sweeter. And I can't get enough. And I'm totally on the Monster Hunter train. And I think it's great because that just means the next version of this game is going to be even bigger and better, because this is like Capcom's biggest, fastest selling game ever.
Of all time.
Yeah. So that's
I know, it's
rad
crazy.
For them.
I still can't believe it's the fastest selling game they've ever made.
It's always been a popular franchise, but it hasn't managed to crack other markets besides Japan, right? Because the 3DS was quite the commitment, making a drop in quality or graphics and stuff and platform, and how many people were playing these types of games on 3DS, right? Not many.
I know for sure.
Anyway, yeah, I love it. I managed to sneak in some Celeste as well.
Oh, awesome.
I was pretty far when we talked. I think I only had a chapter, maybe 2 left. I managed to beat it. It is a good game. I haven't scratched the B-sides, which are, I guess, like the even harder levels.
Right.
Excuse me. I was almost sneezed there. Yeah, and it's got a neat story. It kind of touches on depression and mental, I don't know if it's mental illness, but anxiety and stuff.
Right.
It could be perceived differently depending on, I don't know, everyone's different, right? So it was like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything about the story. I thought it was cool.
I heard it's really good.
Some of it, like, I related to some of it.
Right.
And I don't know, like, anxiety and what you should be doing, shouldn't be doing, what you're capable of, what you're not capable of. And it kind of touches on this stuff. It's a cool game. I really liked it. And I enjoyed the story. I wasn't even expecting a story. I just thought it was a hard freaking platformer. And it was a challenging platformer, but also had a really cool story attached as well. I do have to delve into some of the secrets and the B-side stuff, and apparently I heard there's C-sides even.
Oh, wow.
I unlocked, like, I think 4 of the B-sides. They're usually, like, hidden in some of the chapters, and they're, well, not usually. They are hidden in the chapters,
Right.
in very difficult rooms. But that game's cool. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it if you're into like those Twitch-based timing, difficult side-scrolly platformers.
I've heard really good things about that game. Like
The thing is that separates Celeste from like Super Meat Boy and stuff. Though there is an assist mode, and so you could turn on invincibility. You could turn on unlimited jumps or whatever, boost jumps or whatever they're called. I don't even remember what they're freaking called. It's like a double jump mechanic that the game has. You could turn on unlimited stamina, so you can grab onto walls and stuff. You can
interesting. Okay,
you can essentially make it so you could just like cruise through the game without dying,
right?
Because they recognize it's I compared it to a Dark Souls, didn't I? Dark Souls, the platformer.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
and in that, like some of the rooms they're puzzles because you have to jump, slide, grab, climb, jump, double jump. And do it all with precise timing and angles so that you don't hit spikes or fall through holes or get crushed by elevators and so forth. And when you'll die multiple times in a room, and then you when you perfect it, it's like, oh, that was kick-ass, and you feel good. And then you go into the next section, and it's the same thing over, easier or harder, right?
Right.
And they recognize some people will be like turned off. It's like, okay, this is too much for me. I'm not that good. Like, it gets hard at parts, but it's not really hard. It's like you just got to figure out what you have to do, and then you have to execute it. It's not impossible. It's just getting the timing and stuff down, and it's like, I don't know. It's almost like a rhythm action game at times.
Interesting. What was your death count at the end of it?
Oh man, I took a screenshot. I can't remember, but I want to say it was around 1,100 or something.
Oh wow, that's quite a few.
And I got just over 100 strawberries out of like 170, I think. 170 something.
Wow.
And there's no punishment if you use the assist mode. Like, they put that in there because they don't want you to start the game and then get to a point where you slam a wall and that's okay, I'm done. And then you don't get to see the story. They want you to see everything the game has to offer, so they put this assist mode in. And there's no punishment for using it. There's no, like, scarlet letter that's on your save file or anything. It's like, this guy used the assist mode because he's a baby.
Right.
Like,
that's cool. I like it when they do stuff like that.
Anyway, yeah, it's a cool game. I liked it. I will play a sequel if they make a sequel.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. I've heard that there's a lot more story than most people realize. Like, everybody that I've heard that's played that game has just been like, I cannot believe, like, I started playing it because the gameplay seemed really cool.
Yeah,
and then the story totally hooked me, and I wanted to keep playing to find out what happened.
Really cool. Just platforming, super solid platforming gameplay. And then it's like, oh, wow, there's a story here. Oh, and they're saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was mistaken a couple weeks ago. I said Celeste is the mountain, and the character's name is, I think it's
Margaret or Madeline or something with an M. I was just listening to a podcast. I thought it was Margaret, but they could have been wrong, so...
Yeah, I'm an idiot, and that sounds... I thought it was Madeline, but...
You could totally be right. Like I said, I would third party through Madeline. Else. There you go.
As she attempts to climb the titular, is that how you say it? Yeah, it's titular, right? Celeste Mountain.
Interesting.
In Western Canada. So it's like the rock.
Really?
Place. Yeah. So this is right like our backyard.
Very cool.
Yeah, and there's a couple more bosses that you encounter during the gameplay. There's some changes to some of the mechanics as you progress too. So it's always like there's a few changes to the gameplay as you go along too. So it's not always just the same thing.
That's awesome, man. I might have to pick that up and give it a whirl.
Yeah, I picked it up.
I'm very intrigued to check it out.
In Hawaii to have something to play on the plane.
Yeah, it might be a great Switch game. So
it's on PS4 and Xbox, and I think PC as well. Yeah, Mac OS and Linux. Yeah, we went over that.
Really? Even Mac OS.
I played some Destiny. Of course, I did the Valentine's event.
Oh man, I haven't loaded Destiny in a while.
Yep. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's 2-on-2, me and Teacup, my bro-in-law, played a few matches. I think we won a couple, and then we got our asses handed to us a couple times.
Okay.
It was probably our fault. We were doing dumb stuff, and we were doing quite well. Like, we would go on tears where I'd get 5 kills, or he'd get 6 kills, and on each during a round, like a single round.
Right.
And we were doing really well. And then we get overzealous. Like, we'd want to chase someone down and hit them with the sword. And then it's like, okay, that was dumb. I just exposed us. Or he'd want to run around and punch people in the head because that's what he likes doing. so our
Why
losses,
not, right?
we lost a few games each because we were doing dumb things. But when we won
around.
When we won, we really won.
Oh, that's good.
The other guys didn't even have a freaking chance, so it was kind of cool. You get an exotic Sparrow from doing the multiplayer. There's no gear. It's just shaders.
Oh, interesting.
Sparrows, ships. There's some dances and some other stuff that you can get from the raid and from doing Nightfall. We haven't done the Nightfall yet, which I'd like to because you get the Beyonce dance, which looks kind of cool.
The Beyonce dance.
Yeah, they put a ring on it dance. It looks freaking hilarious.
Oh, jeez. Fair enough.
Yeah. Destiny was talking about they're making changes to a bunch of weapons next month to get people using exotics that were like looked cool and sounded cool, but no one ever really
kind of sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds kind of neat. Faction Rally's back next week again. I don't know if I'll bother even taking part in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way the faction rally stuff is. Like I actually liked it better previously when you would just join a faction and like run around and try to get faction points. Like as you leveled up and stuff. Like
I can't even remember.
I see what they were trying to do with this one. I just don't think it's implemented very well at all.
Yeah, they fixed issues that people were complaining about from the last time with that. Like the invisible timers we were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They gotten rid of that crap. So they're really doing a lot of stuff to make people happy compared to the stuff that they've been effing up. But man, when you remember that it's like, okay, well, like after the shine I still love Destiny, don't get me wrong, but after the shine wears off and you're like, oh yeah, we're missing a bunch of shit we had in the first game, and
they're working on slowly putting it back in.
Why is it not here? Like, then you just kind of get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, moving along.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I see you beat Cat Quest.
I did. It asked me to start a Mew game.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I have not, but I did beat the game. I did see credits.
I was going to go even worse and say you beat that pussy.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, you went there. Yeah, no, it was great. It was good. It was not overly long. I think my final game clock was like 10, 11 hours, somewhere in that range.
Sometimes you just need a nice palate cleanser like that to bang something out.
Yeah. No, it was like I said, I fucking buy that game. It is great. Like I had so much fun with it. I may even jump back in. I'm curious. I might even just jump back in just to see what the new game plus stuff is. Cause it looks like there's like modifiers and things that you can do when you do a new game plus. So I'm kind of curious what that looks like and all that. So I may just do it for the sake of curiosity. But yeah, no, it was great. I had a blast with it. It was, like you said, it was a great little palate cleanser, and I really enjoyed my time with it.
I want to beat the story mode to Monster Hunter, and then I can take a break. and
Play some other things.
Play some of my backlog because I really want to play Neo and I want to play Nier, and they're just like they stare at me on my shelf there every time I look at my TV.
Yeah, I almost Nier's an interesting one. I'm on Monday when I had the day off. I was like sitting there and I was like, oh man, like I could jump in and play some Nier, and I don't know what it was. I don't know. I just didn't feel compelled to load it up and to do it. I know there's a lot of game there, and I know I need to kind of get back to it because like it gets a lot better 30 hours in, kind of a thing. But like I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Well, and it might have just been my mood. I mean, I definitely go through moods where like I want to play certain things, and sometimes I want to play other things. And it might have just been one of those where I just wasn't really in the mood for that particular style of game on that particular day. So
instead, you beat Halo 5?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I was trying to think of games that I had.
Beat it already, but I guess you didn't.
No, I started it a while ago. Like I started it, and I got in like I think 3 chapters in. I mean, the game's not very long. It's only there's only 15 chapters, and some of those chapters are like it's a whole chapter to a walk and talk. Like all you're doing is walking. You talk to a couple people, and then the next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, chapter 9 is over." And I was like, "Holy shit, are you serious?" So I mean, there's really more like 12 full chapters to the game, and even some of those aren't overly long. But yeah, I don't know. I was like sitting there, and for one, I haven't turned on my Xbox One in probably months. So I was like, oh, I wonder if like I should play something on my Xbox. Like it's been a while, and I should just do that. It's been too long. And then I was like, well, also like I've got a whole day here. Like this would be a great opportunity if I've got some games that I'm mostly through, like, or what can I sort of clean off and get out of my backlog, or just finish, you know what I mean? Like just that kind of, just kind of clear it out a little bit. And I realized like I freaking have, and I own Halo 5, and I've never beat it. I started it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go back and just fucking get that thing done. Like just do it and have it over with. So that's exactly what I did. I was like, all right, cool. So I popped it in and went back off to the races and finished some Halo 5. Like I
have to go back to that. Apparently it's got a really nice Xbox One X enhanced mode.
I could see that.
It's supposed to be like 4K. I think it's 4K 60.
It's a very pretty game.
I liked it when I originally played it. It was a really sharp looking game.
Yeah, no, it's a very pretty game. I'll give it that for sure. You know, I've come to realize though with Halo at this point in my Halo playing career, I love the universe of Halo. I love the stories that happen in that universe. And I find the games that are built in that universe to be fine. And I mean, luckily in my case, they're generally short. None of them are like overly long.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I don't like the fact that I'm always constantly running out of ammo, and I have to like run around the maps, dropping my guns. Like
that's a Halo thing. That's totally Halo.
Totally is. It's a Halo thing, and it's
to get you out of your comfort zone and force you to use different weapons.
Yeah, but like I hate the fact that like even a lot of times when I run over a weapon or pick up a new one, instead of doing the video game thing where it like, you know, I would grab the ammo or whatever from that weapon and use it, it freaking just, I throw my one away and I pick up another one, and it may or may not even have as much or less ammo as the one that I've got. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like that, like, and I mean, it's not a huge thing. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, I fucking hate this. This is dumb. which was going to stop me from playing it or anything. But it's just like, it's one of those minor annoyances that, like, for me, I'm just like, this would be better without that, personally. Like, I like knowing that, like, I don't know, like, I like being able to sort of have weapons that I prefer to use in certain situations and stuff, and
yeah,
you know, being forced into using shitty guns sometimes in some situations sucks. Like, but yeah, and the other thing that I do find interesting about the Halo games, I think, is, like I said, like, the universe and the lore is super interesting. But, like, the gameplay itself, a lot of the times, like, the stories are kind of shitty. Like, none of the Halo games themselves seem to have very good stories. Like, it's weird.
It's all about the sandboxes and the multiplayer. It seems the last couple Halos have been pretty meh.
Like this one with the whole Cortana going crazy, and she's supposed to essentially die of old age, but Halo Master Chief kind of doesn't want her to, and like they go on a quest to see if they can kind of restore her.
That's the one where you're going back and forth, right? From Locke and Master Chief.
Yeah, exactly.
And the whole ad campaign, which was like terrible, where Master Chief's like the bad guy, and you got to go hunt him down. It's like that fell pretty flat.
Yeah, especially once you start playing the game and realize, like, that's not. I think the problem, like, what's going on, like.
The first time I played through Halo 5, or when I was playing it when it came out, I was super excited because it'd been a long time to play Halo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like comfort food. It felt good. It was great. And I was super pumped to be there.
Yeah.
But then it's like, eating way too much at McDonald's. It's great in the moment, but not so much after the fact.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is, like, when I started playing this, like I said, I'd started this game before, like when I, probably when Halo 5 came out. Cause I know I started it quite a while ago at this point, but like the first 3 chapters, I like jumped into that game and I was just like, I cannot for the life of me remember what the fuck is going on. And like, I pieced it together again once, obviously once I continued to play it, but I was just like, man, that's kind of terrible. The fact that I couldn't even remember what was going on in this game, that would, like, a lot of games I can pick up and I'm just like, oh yeah, that was what was going on. Oh, cool. In this, it was honestly just, I'm like, I don't remember what the fuck is going on here. And then I kept playing, and after like a few chapters, I was like, oh, right. Yep. That's okay. I kind of remember what was going on. and the gameplay is good. The guns feel great. I mean, that aspect of it is, I think that's kind of what makes it kind of shitty that they force me into guns that I don't like, because so many of the guns that I like shoot really well, and it's like, I don't want to use this gun because I don't really like it, but like, so, and I mean, the AI is generally pretty good. Like, there's a lot of aspects of the Halo games that they really do nail well, but at the same time, there's just so much of those games that I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, what? Yeah, I don't know. It was like, it's one of those things where, like, I own it. I played it. I've played through it now. I've beat it, which is great. But will I ever play it again? Doubtful.
Yeah, I want to check it out for the Xbox One X stuff, but
and I mean,
play through the whole thing?
You
Probably
can
not.
Honestly, like, burn through in like 5 hours, 6 hours.
Well, like I was saying about like the comfort food, like it felt good, and then after I was done, I'm like, I just kind of haloed out, kind of like I'm Gears of War out. It was great in the moment, but then it's like, they really, like, both those franchises, they really need to do something different.
They absolutely do.
Like, they're so stale right now. And I think their sales have even fallen quite a bit, and fanfare, like, they don't have the crazy launches like they once did. They're not like flops by any sake, but
the one thing I will give it is that if it did do anything, it was to make me actually inspire me to kind of like I'm curious almost to go get some of the books and read more into the lore, because that aspect of it is, like I said, super interesting and really intriguing to me. And if playing this again did anything, it was actually kind of I'm almost inspired to like go pick up a few of those like Halo books and read some of, the Fall of Reach and read about the Spartan program, and like all of that stuff is all super interesting, which is kind of like in a way what makes playing this one and the gameplay and the story and stuff feeling sort of so uninspired. It kind of is a bit of a bummer because it is so interesting, and I do feel like there is such a cool like universe that they've built there. So yeah, but yeah, it was cool. I mean, like I said, it was good. I got it off my list. I can say that I've finished it now and like put it on the done pile. It's been sort of hanging there for too long. So sometimes you just need to be able to like finish a game, like it's just nice to, okay, I've finished a couple of things now and I can kind of move on. And so yeah, so it was, and I also got to turn on my Xbox One. I
did like a cloud of dust like spit out of it or something.
No, I know that they've changed that interface. Oh, I don't like it.
I'm more used to it. So
yeah, and like I can see that. I still like what were they thinking? Like, just all I want is like my games right at the top, right there. Just like, anyways. I still like it. It's better than it was, but like in my opinion, they got a long way to go to make that thing, I don't know, very user friendly and proper. But I know that there's other people out there that disagree with me, so
I don't think it's bad. Now I've gotten used to it. It doesn't feel so foreign now that I've been playing a lot of Xbox because of my ex.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I don't like it as much as PlayStation 1, but it's definitely leaps
well, like
and
I said, it's
bounds better
definitely
than what it used to be.
Yes, it definitely seems like that for sure. So, but yeah, that was more or less what I've been playing. I didn't really jump into anything else over the course of my weekend. That was kind of, like I said, I spent most of my day finishing Halo, and that was kind of it. So I do want to get back into Nier. It's one of those things where it's there, it's sitting beside my PlayStation. I will definitely get back to it. It's like, I don't know. I think I like just playing a ton of Assassin's Creed, sort of that third person open world running around.
Oh, speaking of Assassin's Creed, I beat the third God challenge.
Oh, nice.
So I beat them all now.
I completely forgot. So
I don't know if I think it's over now.
Completely?
No, just for the time being, and I think they'll cycle through them again like they did last time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
I beat the third one. The third one was harder than the rest of them, but I still beat it very first attempt.
Yeah.
But it was the one that actually maybe got me below half-life, whereas the other ones freaking barely scratched me.
Yeah, fair.
Shall we move on to news, my friend?
Let's get into some news.
Okay, let's start with some cross-platform news. Nvidia is working really hard to increase supply of graphics cards. If you've been living under a rock or have made the mistake of trying to build a gaming PC recently, you've probably noticed that it's really hard to get a good video card.
Yes, it is.
Nvidia put a message out there that they're working really hard to ramp up supply. I think AMD has said similar messaging. Actually, a lot of retailers, well, not a lot, but a few of the reputable retailers are limiting purchases to in-store only and or one only or in pre-builds only to kind of get around these cryptocurrency mining buttheads.
Yep.
That are kind of screwing it up right now. The thing that pisses me off about this more than anything is not that it's hard to get a graphics card, that I have a feeling that we're going to have to wait another year until the next iteration of video cards.
Oh, no.
Because they're selling so many. They're going to be like, well, we don't need to release the 11 series or whatever the next Nvidia series is. Because they're like, we're selling video cards hand over fist. I don't know. That's how I feel, which I don't like. Because they're selling so many more than they normally do. And usually you start getting that 2-year dip now. The TI came out last summer. And then it's like, hey, this year should be, you know, most parts the next gen of vid card. You know what I mean?
Well, we already know that Nvidia has a event coming up, I believe, in March. Where they're expected to announce their upcoming, like, the 2 series. So essentially it'll be like instead of the 1080, it'll be like the 2080 and the 2070 and the 2060 series.
Is that what they're doing now? Huh.
That's the rumor. They haven't announced anything yet, but that's sort of the rumor.
I hope so. I don't need a new video card, but I like new video cards.
Mm-hmm. So they've already, like, we do know that they have an event upcoming. We already know all of that. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to say with 100% certainty, but I would say I'm pretty certain that they're not going to stop pushing forward with this stuff, in spite of them just selling shitloads of them.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, that cycle has already, like, these things are on multiple year cycles. You've got multiple teams working on multiple things, and you can't just stop the train because, hey guys, we're selling lots of video cards. Like, it's kind of like, nope, these are out. We've got a product cycle happening. These are going to be on the way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I could see maybe, because depending on how things go, I could see maybe that one lasting a little longer. Like, already the video card cycle has slowed down significantly. I mean, we're lucky if we get like a year now in between like full cycles now. You know, like the 10 series has already been out for over a year. Like, they did a couple of refreshes to a couple of the cards, you know, like they did a refresh to the 10 series. So we got the 1080 Ti and the 1070 Ti, but they didn't do like a full refresh of the rest of the lineup. Like, we didn't even get like a 1060 Ti. They didn't release like a 1065 or anything like that. Like, it was really just a couple of those key cards that got step ups. And those were more or less responses to AMD cards than anything. Like, they just wanted to keep their edge. So I think that we'll definitely see their next cards upcoming, probably. Like I said, of course, who's to say that like supply won't be insanely limited and difficult to come by, because I'm sure that will be the case just because of what's happening right now. And if those cards are better and faster at mining, then this will continue all over again. But I think they're already ready for the next gen to come out. I mean, at one point they were releasing full different products like every 6 months. You know, like we would get, you know, like we'd have the 7 series and then we'd get like the 7, 6, you know, they would do that half step like almost every 6 months. And so they've really slowed that down over the last few years, which is kind of better in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that like they're sort of limited. Like, you could push forward in a lot of those areas, but the consoles aren't, like, because of the way that developers develop games, you've got them developing for consoles, and the PC side is kind of like, so like at the beginning of this console cycle, we saw Nvidia and AMD moving forward to try and sort of catch up to what the consoles looked like, which is why we suddenly went from like 3 and 4 gigs of RAM on the cards, and we jumped straight to like 8 gigs of RAM on card fairly quickly. 6 and 8 gigs suddenly became like very much the usual now. And that was a direct response to the new consoles having like 8 gigs of RAM, not fully dedicated to the video necessarily, but they had a lot more RAM to deal with. So suddenly the PC side of things moved along with it. And now, because these have been out for a while, you know, we've sort of seen PCs catch up and then surpass them quite a bit again with like the 1080 cards and such.
Yeah.
So there hasn't really been a big reason to like rush out. You know, now we've kind of had the half-step consoles with the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X. But even that, like, you know, we're getting that type of performance with a 1080 still. So it's, you know, so we're probably going to get a 2 series. That'll probably come out. There'll probably be some half steps. But until a new generation of consoles comes out, like a full PlayStation 5 or Xbox 720X or whatever the fuck Microsoft will call it, we probably won't see like those big leaps forward in the video card space. So, but we're definitely going to be seeing new hardware probably later on this year. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like new video cards. Not that I need one. I'll want one, but I don't need one.
Yeah, I'm so in that spot where I just need to. I was pricing out like video cards and motherboards and processors.
Yeah, like video cards are super expensive now. RAM is super expensive right now. It's like, ugh.
RAM is actually the biggest reason that I sort of walked away from building a PC right now. Just because this PC that I built in 2011 or 2011, I built with 16 gigs of RAM, and that has been so smart. So my next PC that I build, I want to go 32 gigs, and right now 32 gigs is like $400. It's ridiculous. I'm just like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Just because RAM prices are nuts right now because of phones and video cards, and just it drives me mental trying to deal with it all, which sucks because, you know. So yeah, so at this point I will continue to wait.
I thought about building a new PC because I'm just bored and do stupid things, but I really don't need a new PC.
Yeah, and at this point we're so close to like we'll probably see Risen 2 up like in the next few months here, and we'll probably see. It wouldn't surprise me if this spring we see some more 8 series processors from Intel that are like pretty friggin' sweet. So that's kind of also reasons why I'm sort of holding off. I feel like we're in a weird spot right now with all of that stuff where, because AMD came out and started dropping massive amounts of cores into their processors for stupid amounts of low money, that Intel has had no choice but to respond in kind, which has meant that when I built my machine in 2011, it had 4 cores with hyperthreading for a total of 8 threads. And now for that type of money, like if I would have bought a 7700 last year, it would have 4 cores and 8 threads still. Like, sure, they would be running at like 4 gigahertz or 4.2 or whatever it is, but still ultimately it's still just 4 cores, 8 threads. Whereas AMD dropped their new Ryzen processors, which are having 8 cores, 16 threads, 10 cores, 20 threads, and they're really pushing forward with that. Each core isn't quite as fast as an Intel core, but it's so close that you're getting so much more power in that box for the same amount of money. And in turn, it has forced Intel.
Yeah.
It already has, right? With the 8700, they released, and it's finally got 6 cores, 12 threads. So we're already seeing them sort of get pushed forward a little bit.
It's good to have AMD doing stuff like that because it keeps Intel honest and forces them to do better stuff too, right?
Hey man, if AMD isn't doing anything, then friggin' Intel will sit on their laurels and do absolutely nothing, because why would they?
You'll do an iPhone 4 and a 4S.
Yep.
Right? Like, you just do the half-step measure because you don't need to do more.
Exactly.
That's why I was saying I was like hoping, like I really hope that there's a new video card coming soon, because it's like, if they're like other tech companies lately, though, it's like, well, we'll just do the lame version because we don't need to do the crazy version. Like the next video cards that come out should all be able to do 4K 60. You know, with one hand tied.
I would say at least the top two.
Yeah, without having to go SLI, the next gen has to do 4K 60 with like one hand tied behind their backs. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I was just kind of getting at with where like I hope they don't get lazy, and that's, you got to have this competition or that's what happens. These guys they'll ride out. You know,
you also have to remember though too, like they're looking at how many people are actually running 4K and shit, and whether or not
it doesn't matter how many people
important.
Doesn't matter.
What's important is the power. Like, I don't care if it'll go 4K. I just want it to run my games at 60, everything turned up. That's what I care about.
Is good.
Exactly.
You know, when you don't have competition in certain market sectors, you get stuff like providers not offering gigabit internet because the other guy doesn't, even though they're very well capable of doing it.
Right. And it just sucks.
Anyway, moving along, Fortnite continues to crush it. They actually surpassed PUBG's total concurrent player count.
That's crazy.
3.4 million. They're over 40 million people have downloaded or played. I mean, obviously it's a free-to-play game, so that's a little different.
That was what I was going to say.
It continues to soar, and not that PUBG is going down, but PUBG's numbers have been dropping consistently lately. That probably is part and parcel due to just...
I wonder if that's mainly on the PC side.
It's mainly PC, and I don't think the Xbox is making enough of the amount of people leaving, because I haven't been playing any lately, so I can't say how bad it is with cheaters, because like I really have barely played any PUBG lately, but that's probably why. They really need to work on that, whereas I don't think Fortnite really has that issue. I haven't played Fortnite. Have you played Fortnite?
No, I haven't.
I installed it on my PC, and that's what I do with the PC is I install stuff, and then it just sits there.
That's true, and then you just go play Monster Hunter.
And then I just go play Monster Hunter.
Or if you do sit down at your PC, then you just play Destiny.
Or I do that too. That's the other thing. Hey, remember that dude in Hawaii who was like saying he was going to do stuff about loot boxes?
Were we talking about the governor or the lawmaker?
I think it was the governor or senator. I don't even remember now. Anyways,
I remember somebody was freaking out about loot boxes in Hawaii.
Anyway, lawmakers in Hawaii, as promised, introduced 4 bills that would regulate the sale of video games that feature so-called loot boxes or loot crates. They'd prohibit the sale of loot box games to customers younger than 21 years old. And loot boxes defined. Yeah, so that's one. And the other 2 bills label their games that contain loot boxes and disclose rates of receiving the items in these systems. So basically you have to put a badge like, loot boxes are bad and they cause cancer and stuff like that on the front of your game.
Like, there's a part of me that feels
you can't
like
sell to kids, which is, you know what? That's fine by me, man. I'm fine with that.
I feel I have mixed feelings about this because I think the last thing I want is the government stepping in.
I don't want the government in either, but man,
games, but clearly
these guys can't regulate themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
They fucked it up. EA fucked it up for everybody. It's their fault.
Yeah,
they reap what they sow. Then again, these are bills and they still need to be passed.
Yeah, exactly.
But
just because you drop a bill off doesn't mean it's going to pass.
But Hawaii is not the only state. There's other states getting in on this, so this is just the first to actually get something done before anyone else. And it's not going to be the last. And there's going to be some changes coming afoot. These guys, they screwed things up. You know what? They deserve the bed that they fucking made for themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Loot boxes are shit. They're screwing games up. They're wrecking progression systems. And look at Monster Hunter. Fastest selling, highest selling Capcom game ever. It's like at 5 million. I think the next time we hear about it, it's probably going to be 6 or 7 million. No loot boxes, no skins. There's no nothing. There's no monetization besides you buy the freaking game.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to hurt it. So it's like, it's just straight up greed. It's just greed. And EA is hands down the worst. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's a whole subculture around opening FIFA packs and Madden packs and NHL packs, like douchebag YouTubers spending tons of money opening packs, which in turn little kids go and steal their parents' credit cards and or spend their hard-earned money on stupid virtual items which are worth nothing. Invisible digital bits that are absolutely worthless, but praise on...
it makes my character look so cool.
But it preys on people's like weaknesses and self-control, and it's disgusting. And EA is the worst offender of everyone out there, next to mobile games. Mobile games are pretty bad in general, but it's just like, you know what, they deserve everything and anything coming their way, and I just hope they just get like a hot iron right up there.
I hope this just isn't one of those situations where they fucked it up for everybody, and now
how did they fuck it up for everybody? Because all the good games, successful games out there, Minecraft, biggest selling game in the world, doesn't have loot boxes. Grand Theft Auto, biggest selling game in the world, doesn't have loot boxes.
Yeah, those games also came out long before loot boxes were even.
Grand Theft Auto has stuff you can spend money on, but it ain't randomized. You can buy exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference there, right? There's tons of examples of games that they're just...
Oh, I agree.
Doing well.
There's also huge games out there with loot boxes. PUBG, fastest selling game last year. Fucking loot boxes.
Yeah. And
Overwatch. Now
that game's
loot
community.
Boxes.
That game's community though is getting destroyed because of loot boxes. Because the secondhand marketplace on Steam incentivizes cheaters to cheat in that game.
I think that's an easily remedied thing that I don't think Steam will ever do, because they make money off of every sale that's the
thing. It all boils down to these companies are greedy and they're not happy enough with making the money they make. They want all the fucking money. It's just gross. It's like,
well, that's what happens when you have a publicly traded company that you're constantly having to show that you're doing
PUBG's
better
not
every
public
time.
Traded.
No, I'm talking.
Steam's not publicly traded. The only publicly traded one here who's the biggest offender is EA.
Sure.
But it's like it's just gross. Like, tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars is not enough. They need everything. Like, they need every cent that they can steal from everyone. It's just so infuriating. Ugh. Anyway, moving along. I don't like the government getting involved, but what it takes, because these douchebag executives and CEOs, and that they deserve every ounce of regulation coming their way.
Yeah, I hate the idea of the government getting involved, because they'll fuck it up. Yeah,
well, if they didn't fuck it up, we wouldn't be here, right? They brought it on themselves.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed new education mode is coming out soon.
Yeah, man, that mode looks super cool.
It'll have 75 historical tours that range from 5 to 25 minutes, covering all kinds of the Discovery tour. It's free for owners of Assassin's Creed Origins. It's coming out February 20th. So is that next week?
I could totally see my wife getting into this and doing this. This seems like something that would be super right up her alley.
Or $20 as a standalone. It says PC purchase, which is weird. So I guess the consoles don't get it as a standalone. So yeah, you can like freely explore the world. There's no enemies. There's no
combat.
Narrative stuff. There's no combat. There's a big fact linked in the story here. So if you go through the link on the podcast notes, you can see exactly what's in here. I think that's really freaking cool. I think this is a feature that, like any game that's based in Well, not. I was going to say any game based in real world locations. I think any game with any type of open world or just worlds or stages in general should have modes where like the directors and the game devs and this, like you can go say, for example, in Monster Hunter, I can go through the environment and they can tell me the decisions as to why they made the vegetation look like this or what was the influence on the monster that they created. Like even for like the make believe stuff, right? Like that would be cool.
Sort of like a director's cut.
Yeah, I think some Steam games had that. I think Half-Life had that, like commentary and stuff. But then games stopped doing that. So this is kind of like that, but whereas it's historically correct and like, you know, it's based in real life events and real human history, which makes it really neat. I don't know. I think it's a feature any and all games should have. Just seems really cool. Like when you can't get enough of that world, you can delve back in, right, and get some of the, you know, go into the open world areas of Destiny, and here's the lore of this area and history, and I don't know. I think that's cool. I think more games should do it. That comes out next week, so
that's cool.
If you own the game,
check that out. I do.
I will definitely check it out. That's it for cross-platform. Nintendo news came out recently that Namco Bandai Namco is working on Metroid Prime 4.
Interesting.
We have not seen anything.
I wonder if this is a good thing or not.
Anyway, well, the studio that is working on this specifically is the Singapore staff, apparently the same studio that made the canceled Star Wars 1313, which from people who got to see that demo of the one E3, which was playable by judges, so it actually worked and functioned. People were quite people were pretty blown away by that demo, and that looked amazing. And it's sad that it got canceled. So I don't know, that looked pretty rad. So that studio seems to have some obviously talent when it comes to graphics.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bandai Namco is, I think, been doing all right. I believe.
Yeah, no, they've been doing well recently. I'm just curious, like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, time will tell.
I'm gonna guess that we're gonna see more at a Nintendo Direct or obviously at E3 because it was last E3 that they
all they showed last year was literally
a logo.
A logo, though. Like, you think they're gonna even have enough to show at E3? Like,
yeah, they'll have something this year.
I still feel like that game is a lot further out. Like, that game's still probably at least another year away. Dragon Ball FighterZ is published by Bandai Namco, so that just came out and that was freaking awesome. No, it's true. They've done really good recently, but
Splatoon 2, Marina and Pearl are getting some amiibo.
Amiibo.
News story for me in particular. It's 2-pack. I believe it's March. What's the date on this? I want to say it was March 31st, but I don't see it here. It just says later this year, but I swear I saw somewhere that it was March 31st, but I could be making shit up.
Happy birthday to me.
Is that your birthday?
It is.
I knew that. I was just checking to see if you knew that. Yeah, so yeah. More amiibo. Dane doesn't care. Everyone else out there doesn't care.
No.
And I'm committed to wasting money on them, so I have to.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have them all, right?
Mm-hmm. Gotta catch them all. Oh, man. If they made Pokemon amiibo.
Oh, we've talked about this. I don't know. Nintendo doesn't like money, apparently.
There's like over 700 Pokemon. So if they were $15.99 each, let's do some rough tax.
Well, that's assuming they made them all, which they wouldn't even have to, even if they made 50 of them.
Jesus Christ. If they made just 700 of them at $15.99, including taxes, that cost me $12,592.
Yep.
Nintendo, don't make all the Pokemon.
And like I said, they wouldn't. But
some, maybe. That's crazy.
I'm still amazed they haven't. I'm still amazed they haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty. They have quite a few. Like there's like I said, at least 10 Pokemon.
We have already given them $1 billion idea, and they just continue to refuse to freaking make it. So just make Skylanders with freaking Pokemon instead, so that every character that you catch, you have to buy, and there you go.
Maybe just like they sell like Pokeballs, and then it's like to capture them.
Could you imagine it was random and you buy Pokeballs?
No. The Pokeballs have nothing. You need the Pokeballs to save your Pokemon in.
Yeah, but then you just have a bunch of empty Pokeballs running around.
I think that's freaking cool. Anyway.
It's a neat idea, but the part of the whole thing is like you've got these cool things on your shelf. Like
that's true,
you of all people should know.
Yeah,
you gotta have them on your shelf.
Moving along in the PlayStation news, D23 Japan happened. I didn't even know that was a thing. I know I know there's the American one, like down in Anaheim in June or July or something like that. Anyway, they unveiled a new trailer for Monster.
You got Monster Hunter on the brain.
For Kingdom Hearts 3, showing the new Monsters Inc. world. And just a new trailer to Kingdom Hearts 3. And I guess the more important message is reiterating that the game is still coming out
at some point
in 2018, maybe? It says.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, me too. But people are pretty hyped about that. There's quite a few.
Did you ever get into the Kingdom Hearts games? Really,
I own 1 and 2. They're sitting on the shelf behind me. I could never really get into them.
But you bought the second one as well as the first one?
Yeah, I have the first and second on. Were they PS2 or PS1? I can't remember.
PS2.
I know I own them both. They're sitting somewhere behind me on a shelf. And I just couldn't get into them. Another PlayStation news: Spyro the Dragon trilogy remaster is coming to PS4 apparently this year.
Yeah.
Activision is reportedly working on remastering the original Spyro trilogy, similar to what the publisher did with Crash Bandicoot last year. And it's no secret that Crash Bandicoot has done very, very well. It's recently
what this opens the door for? A
what?
Jack and Daxter remake.
Oh, yeah.
A proper one.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Shut your face.
I remember.
Don't kill my dreams.
I might own 1 or 2 of the Spyros. I don't know. I got to go look at my PlayStation rack in the other room. But
those were amazing games for the PlayStation. I don't know how well they've held up since then.
I liked them, but I think they're a little more kiddie. So I think when they came out, I was a little older. So I didn't really connect to them as much as, say, like when Crash came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because those came out way later in like the PlayStation life cycle. Like, whereas was Crash like near launch? I can't even remember. But
they're good the original
games.
Crash Bandicoot was a launch title.
I remember my sister loved Spyro. She loved playing Spyro back on our PS1.
My little brothers and sisters played a ton of Spyro, and I definitely played a lot of it myself.
So that's cool. People are excited about that. Opening the doors for more classic games to get remastered. I just played those games when they came out 50 years ago, so I don't have enough time for the brand new games I want to play. So I'm not too... I don't know.
Hey, man, I like it when they make the graphics awesome and re-release it.
There's nothing wrong with it, as demonstrated by the Shadow Colossus remaster that recently came out, which is freaking amazing.
That you still haven't beat?
No. I have an addiction. I have a problem. I put this in Xbox news, but it's not really Xbox news, but I just put it here because it's an Xbox exclusive. Rare says Sea of Thieves will run well even on crappy PCs. They released like a little spec sheet showing what you need for what type of performance, and it's like 4K 60 extreme settings are basically, that's like my PC. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
But yeah, like 1080p 60 does not require the newest, biggest, and best hardware out there. So
I still kind of want to know what that game's.
The closed beta is on again this weekend. Maybe I'll actually have time to play it because I won't be in Hawaii like the last time. So I will try to jump on that.
I don't think I'm in the beta.
Yeah, it's pretty. You had to sign up in December. You got to install the stupid Insider app on your Xbox.
Oh, really?
Cast like a voodoo curse and bend over backwards and do some other weird shit. Like, it was not. I just figured, here's my Microsoft account, just show up on my games list, and that's not how it works. It's quite a convoluted process. I guess unless you got unless you got a code directly from Microsoft, a different way to. But
it's curious that they're requiring Windows 10 for all versions of it on PC.
I wonder if it shows up in my Windows store. I don't even know how to make the Windows Store show up.
I'm amazed that for 4K they require you to have 16 gigs of RAM. That's kind of amazing.
Good thing I have more than that.
There you go.
I was looking to see if it shows up in my games list for Windows on my PC. But I don't have the stupid Insider app on here.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Sea of Thieves closed beta.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. No, it says install on Xbox One. So I can't install it on my PC. Yeah, I have it installed on my Xbox. I'll have to check it out.
On my Xbox.
That's it for news. I guess we can get in some PSAs. Right now on Origin, on PC, you can get a free copy of Dead Space. It's part of their On the House program. Excellent game. If you haven't played it and want to play a fancy version of it on PC, I would recommend going and installing Origin and doing that. I believe it was a Games for Gold or PlayStation Plus title like years ago. So I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere on console. But anyway, that's free right now. Dane mentioned earlier there's like a mini Steam sale going on right now. But what was it? Chinese Lunar New Year or something like that?
The Lunar New Year sale.
Okay, so it's like a mini sale, not a full blown out one. There's no card collecting and trading and nonsense.
That being said, like 10 games out of my wish list were on sale, so I mean it's fairly substantial.
That seems like a pretty big sale. I don't have
So, you know,
I bought the majority of my wish list recently, so I don't have a lot for sale there.
Yes, well, you know, not all of us are rich assholes.
I'm not rich. Steam wish list, $5, $10 games. Come on. Let me smack you. Humble. I just have to mention again, like I've mentioned it before, I'm a subscriber to the Humble monthly bundle on PC. Last month it was Civ 6. So for $12, you could get Civ 6. It's $12 US.
If I would have known that, I actually would have signed up. I want to play the new like expansion for Civ that just came out today.
Yeah, there's some good shit on there, man. Like it is like it's probably the best value in video gaming. Here, let me tell you what was in last month's bundle. Did they show you here? Yeah,
there's so much stuff.
Civ 6, Owlboy, Tacoma.
Oh, damn, that's a good game too.
Tacoma, Life is Strange. What else is there? I don't know what this is. Black the Fall, Snake Pass, the Norwood Suite, Fortune $4.99. I don't know what that is, but yeah, man, just Civ 6 for $12 right there justifies it. Owlboy is supposed to be a pretty rad game. Tacoma is pretty well. That's from the guys who did Gone Home. That's a cool game. Life is Strange. People like that game. And
Fair enough.
you get access to their treasure trove as well, which is like a bunch of DRM free stuff as long as you're a member. And I talked about that. That's that Getting Over It game is in there. Limbo. There's a bunch of good games in there. Anyway, this month is Dark Souls 3 and the expansion for $12.
Wow.
I never ended up beating it on PS4, so I subscribed to this, so clearly I haven't paid to if you pay now, you unlock it immediately. You've got 14 days. There's 14 days left as the time of this recording, so 13 by the time you guys hear it, left to sign up. Because what happens is they have one game they announce, and then they have like the 5-6 other games of the bundle that unlock after. But you have to commit before that point. You can't, if you don't commit before the unlocking, you can't just buy in now at $12. So that's the thing. Anyway, Dark Souls 3 is a pretty dope game. I might have to restart on PC. Yeah, in January it was Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider, Quantum Break, The Long Dark, Dawn of War 3. Yeah, anyway. I just had to mention it's an awesome value. If you have a PC and you do PC gaming, it's a really easy way to get some awesome games and just pad your Steam library.
Yeah, fair enough. Or
just gift games to other people.
I was just going to say gift games to other people that are not, yeah.
With that, I'm going to say we move on to our free-for-all section. I got a couple new toys recently.
It's actually funny. This first one that you mentioned, I too have purchased.
Did you get the new one?
No, I bought the old one because it was super cheap.
What's super cheap?
It was like, I think I got it when it was under $20.
Okay, well that's cheap. I bought the new version that was announced last year that they didn't release for 5 months for some strange reason. Anyway,
for me, I didn't care if it was just a little bit smaller. I was like, I don't give a shit.
We're talking
plugged into the back of my PC where I do not care.
We're talking about the Xbox One wireless adapter for Windows. The version I got specifically is branded for Windows 10, but I'm pretty sure it works with the older versions of Windows. 29, I think it's 29 Canadian, 24 American. 99.
Yeah, I want to say I got mine for $19.99. I just bought the Xbox One wireless adapter. It was not branded for Windows 10.
Yeah, so you got
it is slightly bigger than yours.
You got the one that's like 2 inches or something.
Yeah, it looks like a pack of gum.
Yeah, this one's looks like a tiny thumb drive and is like maybe 1.5 inches, so it's quite small. And I bought it because, did I talk about how I had Bluetooth on my PC and the adapter broke? Did I mention that?
Yeah.
It was working fine, and then some Windows update borked it, and they just never made a proper Windows 10 driver.
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't end up buying another one because I think it was like $15 or $20, and I'm like, well, I don't really need Bluetooth, and this will work.
Yeah.
With the old Xbox One controllers I have and the new one. So it's just like, anyway, but I didn't want the big fat one because I'm an asshole. And if there's a new version, I always want the newer version.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, I bought it. Works great.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I like mine a lot. It's it works just like the Xbox controller on my PC now works pretty much exactly the same as it does on my Xbox.
I hold down the button
and
turn
it pops up.
Yep. And hold it down to shut it off.
Exactly. It's great.
And it works wirelessly. I don't need to have the USB cable plugged in, which is good because I have one long USB cable plugged into the back of my tower, and I need it for when my wireless headset batteries get low. And what would happen is my headset would get low, and that's my controller doesn't work wirelessly. I don't have a cord for my controller.
Just an FYI, there's actually there's an app that you can also download from the Windows Store. It's called the Xbox Accessories app, and you can use that app to update the firmware on your controllers themselves.
if you don't do it through the
Xbox One.
Yeah.
So just kind of as a heads up.
I'm actually waiting for this new rumored Elite controller to get announced.
Because I have two Xbox One controllers, and they're both the older ones. I
have one older one and one new one.
So I just have one connected to my Xbox One and one connected to my PC, and it works great. So
I think I updated my older one. So anyway,
I feel like there was a game that I bought and I like plugged it in, and it told me to upgrade my controller. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I think one of my controllers got updated, but the one that I use on my PC never did, because like I never. And to be honest, I don't know if I've ever noticed a difference.
Yeah, because it would prompt up on your Xbox that you need to upgrade.
Yeah, it would be like, please plug your controller in, and we need to run like an update. So, and then you'd plug it in, and it would do the firmware update on the controller. So yeah, just a little tip for people out there that maybe have an Xbox One controller and a computer, but don't have an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. So. If you guys remember, a couple months ago on Black Friday, I bought a DJI Osmo. I think I talked about it. Did I talk about it on the show? I think I did talk about it on the show.
That was like the thing that you put your camera in, right?
Your phone in. Yeah, I did talk about it on the show. Anyway, I bought it Black Friday, and then during CS, DJI announced a newer version, the Osmo 2, which has longer battery life. It's lighter. It can.
And Rick, being an asshole, he had to have the new one. He promptly returned his Osmo and waited for the new one to come out.
It can go horizontal and vertical, whereas the old one could only do horizontal.
That's what she said.
Yeah. It also could be used to charge your phone with it has a USB port on it. It also has the mounting screw on the bottom, whereas the original version had it on the side, which basically made it useless. It was really strange.
Right. Okay.
And it's lighter and faster and whatever. It's cool. I got it last week after we recorded, so I couldn't talk about it. But it's also quite a bit cheaper. It's $129 American. Which basically probably kills all the third-party aftermarket cheapo ones that were out there, which weren't bad, but I don't know. The quality of these are probably a little better than those that you can find on eBay and Amazon. I really like the old one, but the battery thing, not cool. The mounting screw thing, not cool. The not having vertical mode, not cool. Like, the changes for this just make this like perfect.
Right.
One thing that it's kind of neither here nor there. The old one had like a rubber textured grip on it, whereas this one just has like a textured grip. They got rid of the rubber, the rubber feels nicer, but with age, that rubber is going to get gross. So I don't.
So you're happy about the change?
Yes and no. I'm not happy about that it doesn't feel as nice, but at the same time, that feeling nice rubber grip is going to look like crap after a couple of years. So I'm okay with them getting rid of it. But it's pretty cool. I took it out. Where were we? We were just screwing around the house and to the park and stuff, and was just messing around with it, and I really like it.
Now you can get silky smooth videos of the baby.
It makes some pretty rad videos. Like, I made a Christmas video that I put on YouTube for the friends and family, and people are like, "What? How the hell did you record that? That looks freaking awesome!" I'm like, that's my crappy cell phone. As demonstrated by
you have a Galaxy S8?
I have a 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not really what I would consider a crappy cell phone, though.
No, but anyway.
I mean, the camera on that is pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to get some like nice sunny like locations. Like, I was choked it didn't come out before I went to Hawaii, because I was watching some of my Hawaii videos and like, oh my god, I want to throw up. Like, they look great, don't get me wrong, but man, once you use a gimbal with any camera, it's kind of like you see video that isn't stabilized, and it's just disgusting.
I don't know if I'd call it disgusting.
I'm like a video snob after using a gimbal. I can't stand it. It's just shaky and like bouncy. It like almost gives me a headache. Just anyway, whatever. Hashtag first world problems.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm gonna record you one day and play this back to you, and you're gonna see how douchey you sound.
So I'm super.
Video. It's so smooth.
I'm super stoked for when I finagle my way to E3 to be carrying this around the show floor.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to E3. I'm just screwing around. Yeah, and I bought tickets to Black Panther, so I'll be going to see that this weekend.
Oh man, I'm going to doing a little like mini going away weekend with the wife. We're just going to Vancouver and staying in a hotel on Friday and Saturday, and just kind of being bums and enjoying ourselves because why not? And I'm hoping to also see Black Panther as well.
Nice. Yeah, we got tickets for Saturday. It was part of my Valentine's gift to my wife, aka myself.
Yeah.
And we got the babysitter, so Grandma's going to take the little monster, so pretty stoked. So we'll have that to talk about next week.
Excellent.
Dane, with that, I'm going to say I think we have a show, unless you got anything else to add. Yeah.
No, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at RickFNoK, RICF.
You can always come hang out with me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics. Like us on Facebook.com/Geekoholics. Subscribe to us on YouTube.com/Geekoholics. We are also on Google Play and where most places where fine podcasts are sold. We're not on Spotify yet. And I tried playing our podcast. We're on Google Play, and I tried playing it through my Google Play Home. It just kept playing some other crap. It's like, playing Anonymous. And I'm like, no, Geekoholics Anonymous. It's like, we can't find that. And I'm like, you suck. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm learning. I'm like, learn better.
That's actually really funny. I was in my work vehicle last week, and I said, play Geekoholics Anonymous podcast. And your ugly voice came on the radio, so...
Oh, it worked for you.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
Is it Android Auto?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. It didn't work for me, and that was like through my Google Home Mini.
Yeah, Google Home Mini sucks.
I said podcast. Maybe I need to say podcast? I don't
know.
I swear I said podcast. Anyway, I got really mad, and she got sad, and was like, I'm trying my best. Don't worry.
That's funny.
Yeah, with that, friends, we'll be back next week. Have a great weekend.
Take it easy.
Peace.